Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. We're live once again. We're going to play some spinning goes. It's Friday. Hope you guys have had a fantastic week. As you know, I've been a little bit unwell, and this morning I managed to record another podcast with the Team Boss guys. If you haven't checked out the podcast, go and give it a look, gang. It is the Spin and Bros podcast. We're on episode number 2, which is what we recorded today. So with what is remaining of my damaged vocal cords, we are going to play some spinning goes today. It's going to be a shorter stream, as we tend to do on a Friday, but also I've kind of got a hard out in about 2 hours' time, so I got to get going with this, guys. Before we do that, let's take a look at our graph so far. So this is a look at our spinning go graph. So this is chips won over hands played, and you can see we're making a lot of progress. This is actually the graph filtered specifically from the start of the spinning go merge. That was when spinning go flash and regular speed spinning goes joined forces. And it's good to go back and remind yourself that you're not a complete whale, right? We're doing a lot right. We have improved a lot. Our red line is certainly improving over time. And I like to imagine that we are headed towards spinning go supremacy in the not-so-distant future if we keep working hard. So let's go ahead and fire up some games, and let's see what we can do with the $25 stakes. That graph, like as I said, guys, is the long-term graph. We are winning in our year so far as well, in both dollars and in chips, but we're not winning fast enough. We need to get some more EVs under our belt this year. $75 game. How you guys doing in the chat? Welcome, everybody. Hello, Raksha. Hello, Tom. Hello, Ed. Hello, Briar. Welcome back. Thank you again for the sub yesterday. Hello, John. Welcome, everyone. People of Chatville. I quite like that one. Hello, Nettie. Good to see you. Dean MC, the official MC of Deansville. Hello, 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 guys. Right, we're going to jump straight into the action. As I've mentioned, next week I'm hoping to officially start the challenge. I'll do some posts. I'll do some social media. In all honesty, guys, it really boils down to whether or not I have the energy. Because at the moment, coming off the back of this this sickness that I've been experiencing, I am not feeling particularly motivated to do a bunch of extra work, but we will get there, guys. One must do what one must do. Do you know what I'm saying? One must do what one must do. Ace 10 of diamonds, we get a walk, no good. Pocket trays, let's run it. Big blind wakes up with jacks, that's not ideal. Nice hand, sir. Man, this game is easy sometimes, huh? Don't know that I know this player on the left here. Not with the 5 high. It doesn't look like we've played much with the player on the left. What happened to my... There it is. Try that again. Ooh, that was very close. Almost ended the stream on accident. Clicking the wrong buttons. How badly do I want to no equity float this guy? Just like that. The no equity float, one big blind turn bet. The intention was to bluff, not to hit the 5, but that works too. Once we hit the 5, I'm betting for protection and for value. Hello, Zintex. Hello, mates. Had a few bad sessions this week trying to work out if it's me or the deck. It's often very difficult to tell, isn't it, Ed? In spinning goes, it honestly is so hard to know if it's you or the deck. Okay, this is fine. We won't be folding this hand. We shan't be folding it. The Nickolator. Oh my God, never heard that one before. What's up, Briar? Taking the time to get well is usually best. Brings forward the time you feel better, and on net you get more done. Just short-term apparent loss. You know what? You're not completely wrong. To be fair, I have been feeling okay in myself. I have symptoms. And the symptoms are annoying me, and the symptoms are making me tired. But otherwise, I'm feeling like I want to get back to work and make a go of this. And And I have managed to put in a couple sessions, a couple short sessions. Did manage to record that podcast this morning. So we're definitely getting back on track. But this weekend, I think I'm going to take it easy. And hopefully, by the time we get to Monday, I'll feel very motivated and, you know, empowered. It was an earlier start today as well, which doesn't help things, but. We are absolutely, definitely bluffing this turn. And I'm absolutely bluffing this river. Wish me luck, guys. I think 5 is the correct move. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. We have a straight. We have a straight. 6-3 is an easy call. That's 2-pair, yeah. That one is dead easy. That's okay. I hope it makes you happy. I don't remember this one. Did I have a nice week in Paris? I had a fantastic time in Paris, yeah. I've never been a massive fan of Paris, and I'm not going to say that like it's my favorite city or anything now, but in the last couple of years, I have spent more time there. I've spent more time in Paris, and it has been eye-opening, and I do like it a lot more now than I have in the past. I don't really have anything particularly bad against Paris. I've just never been particularly taken with the city. Sorry, guys. No good there. Trying to convince our opponent to fold 2-pair, not ideal. But the move, I think, is still really good. We're going to get other 1-pair hands to fold some of the time. Our opponent will have some high cards and misdraws and stuff like that, too. He was thinking about it with the 2-pair. But, yeah, I had a great time, Nettie. It was... the actual event itself is run very well. The hotel is attached to the event space, which is like a giant, basically like stadium theater thing. Thank you for the follow, Euphoria. The event is so well run. So many people that I knew were there. Obviously, Felix winning his event was like absolute cinema. So, you know, it was good. Yeah, we're just going to min-raise the king 10 of diamonds. Wow, we got some notes here. Against this player, mark like this, I'm going to fold the jack 10. We can still call there, of course. But I get the impression we're going to have better opportunities against this player. Yeah, my friend Akeem is playing a wild style. Expert fold. Heads up against the unknown player here. Jimmy Markov. Not the worst turn in the world. Double trap, I think, is good here. We definitely want to give him a little bit more confidence. He can bluff, and or his one pair type hands are good. 333, the best size ever. We did manage to get a little bit of value there in the end, which is nice. Jimmy Markov opens to 3x. I'm pretty sure this is not a thing. First-time chatter and new follower Euphoria has a question. Hi, Nick. How do you approach when you see that the session is going in a very bad direction? Should we have a stop loss yesterday? I had an incredibly bad session. I lost 40 buy-ins and 50 spins. Couldn't hold anything. It was very frustrating. I've definitely felt that way before, my friend. Don't worry. It completely depends on the player. I would say that, generally speaking, people do benefit from having a stop loss. As you become a more experienced player, I didn't want to, sophisticated isn't the right word, more experienced, you can be a not particularly sophisticated player and have more experience in this vein. As you become a better player and you have a better containment of your emotions, and also you're better at being honest with yourself about whether or not you're playing well, we can start to, make more loosey-goosey decisions based on, this is a very bad session right now, but I still feel like I'm playing well, therefore a stop loss is not as important for me. I would say, generally speaking, yes, people do benefit from having a stop loss, though. That sounds like a particularly brutal one, though, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Hello, Gabriel, and YouTube chat. What's up? This is an interesting one, guys. Like, our opponent is not going to have an ace here at all. They might have an 8, but I don't know if an 8 plays this confidently. I think they're going to end up having a fair number of missed spades, missed straight draws as well. 7-9 gets here, obviously, but I think we're still calling. Wish me luck. Yeah, that's unlucky. We obviously are hitting the nail on the head with the kind of range he has, though. So if it's not 7-9 that river's the exact straight, think about all the other combos that can be missed here. The spades missed, of course. The other straights missed, so the 7-5 straight missed, the 4-5 straight missed, the deuce 5 straight missed. Lots and lots and lots of ways to be winning, and we know that our opponent doesn't have a lot of strength that they play this way. We've just run into the one combo that both makes sense and is a better hand than what we have. I'm just going to give them all the rope here. We don't expect our opponent to have barely anything to call with when we bet this flop, and I'm not worried about being balanced. We saw that he decided he was going to semi-bluff just a moment ago with the straight draw, which I think is fine, by the way. At this point, though, we are getting value from hearts and from King X and 8X, so we're going to try and do this now. Jimmy Markov wants to get all the chips in the middle. That's great for us. Good spot, King 8 of spades. Tom says, I feel like if it doesn't affect your play, you can grind through. If it starts making your decisions, if it starts making you make decisions that you wouldn't do otherwise, then you should take a break. This is what we achieve. This is what we strive to achieve, excuse me. This is our objective, is to get to that point, which is why I say, if you are more experienced and you're having a bad session, but the situation is good, the games are good, you feel like you're playing well, then there's no reason why you should be concerned about about losing, because you should have a bankroll that is in line with your objectives. You should have a bankroll that allows you to stomach downswings. But if it is affecting your play and you go, actually, I'm having kind of a bad time right now, I'm not having fun, I don't think I'm playing well, that's when you want to walk. Most people are not good at the self-awareness thing. I'm not a super genius at it either. I do think when it comes to poker, I'm pretty good at going, this is not a good situation for me anymore, I should walk. But that took me a long time, and a lot of times I was sort of lying to myself. So therefore, having a stop loss, I think, is a good sort of kill switch. Apparently, double in got timed out yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that happen. Next time I'll make sure they do it longer. Perfect. Not that bad, eh? Uh-oh. That means it was bad. I feel like I'm making good decisions, but when you have a session like that, you start to doubt if you're playing well. I'll take a little break and study these days. Thanks for your thoughts, Tom and Nick. No problem, buddy. Of course, if you need any help, I'm here, man. Let me know if I can be of assistance. All right, we went for a min steal. Not really sure what to make of this, to be honest. Not really sure what to make of that one. Domination situation on the king deuce as well. Spins can be a fickle mistress. Indeed. I mean, you know, the played 50, lost 40 thing that's brutal, but yeah, I've definitely all been there. I heard Nick might make his boombox actually fry his PC to stop him from playing while running bad. That's it. That's the trick. The guy has 4 big blinds, and he dominates us with ace-queen. I just said check the chat, and you need to work on your comedy. Perfect. Perfecto. I got like 4 laughs. I feel like you have to cross the line to get Patty or Ruth to be like, that's enough. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Anyway, we cooked him. I'm married to the cards, but the cards don't love me back. Is this a good flop? We're raising. We don't care. All right, Mr. Job Show. Let's see what we can do. Queen high like a boss? Queen high like a boss, that's right. All right, we're going to win this heads up, chat. There ain't no way we lose this heads up. No way. 0%. 0%. 0%. It's impossible. It's impossible, bro. Let's go. That's Northeast comedy. Did anyone see Spraggy was oh so close to the scoop title in the PLO, no less, was done dirty forehand? I did not see that. I played a little scoop last night. Myself and Uncle Curtis were on the scoop streets. I managed to cash in a scoop event where I got kings all in against ace queen to go deeper, and I lost that one. And then I was 4 off the money, excuse me, in the Phenomeno, which is not a scoop event. And I managed to get queens all in against ace jack and bubbled. It was really cool. What's up, homie? Good to see you. Perfect. Nice one, homie. Good to see you. Vin Diesel. Hit him with the ace-9 trap. Ace-9 Omega trap. We shan't be folding. This is an interesting river. Does our opponent really have a straight to the 10? And also, if they had a straight to the with the 5, would they really be betting this river? Fair enough. Vindy successfully getting value from the 5x here. Did manage to flop a straight, to be fair to him. Wasn't worried about the 10x apparently, which is something I think that some players might be. Double N says no scoop streaming or MTT, so we will be streaming during scoop, but it will be primarily spins. I might do an MTT session here or there. I think that would be fun. But for the most part, my instructions have been to stick to stick to what you know, kid. Stick to the spin streets. There will be some cards up coverage later in the month, though. TBC. There will be some cards up. TBC. Probably not. I only scoop spins. That's right. Accurate. Yeah, we're losing this one no matter what. From an EV perspective, I mean, obviously anything can happen post. The official Vindy is cooking us here. Time for a little tramp of our own. Tramp of my own. Classic Spraggles, anyway. What's Spraggy's situation? He has a Which titles does he have again? I can never remember which ambassadors did what. Or is he still waiting on the elusive Scoop W Cube? All right, we're heads up against the complete unknown player. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Seven. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Whoa, domination situation. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? All right, on to the next one. That's right, Tommy Vids. Can't lose. Millionaire Mojo, good to see you. Tricky one here, gang. Can't fold. Let's see how aggro Yuzu wants to be here. This would be quite a bold call on the river. I mean, a lot of the semi-bluffs contain a queen as well, which is not ideal. All right, intuition says folds. King and a Jable. Pretty standard from both players here. King. And now we play the next game. I was high and alone in a desert zone. And if I maybe ought to try. Says, yay, I finally won my first tournament of what was been a horrible poker year. $5.50 hyper for 167. Let's go. Let's go to Tesco. Deuce. So close. So close. It's so far. Give me a deuce. Give me a seven of spades. Well played, sir. Very well played. Very well played. I'm grateful for your donation. I'm grateful for your attempted donation. I am grateful for your attempted donation. All right, let's go to Asda this time. We're going to Asda this time. Chat requested Asda. Oh. Death by quads. All right, we're going to Asda. Asda with an A. Asda as in aces. So I'm ready now, so stay with me. Next game, please. I'm ready now, so stay with me. All right, so things that we beat. Jack 10, Queen Jack, Ace High. This is a min-raised pot. Our opponent flats. Okay. Did feel like it might have been a weak king, but that's all right. I'm happy to pay the 150. All right, we can beat this guy. We can do it. As to quads. As to price quads. As to price quads. Got those as to price quads. For $100. What's up, Demo in the chat? Hello. Good to see you, mate. We're blocking 9-10. I don't think this is the size that he uses if he has a straight with a 5. So we're bluffing. Wish me luck. Fair enough. He had the 10 and the 5. Just making notes. Good to know in future. Did make the right call on the turn, which is nice. We do have kind of the perfect hand to make this play with, though. Unfortunately. Yeah, it's a good move. It's a good move. It's a good move from both players. The induce is nice as well, of course, but I'm just looking at the spot wondering if we're supposed to induce here. Feels like way too easy just to get called. It works on this occasion against our specific hands. Like, our hand has a lot of the characteristics of a move that wants to play that way against that line. Or some of the characteristics, to say a lot, just some of it. Oh, good. I'm just looking at this spot still, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at this again. So, yeah, he induces a bluff. Very well done. What's a bit weird about this spot, in my opinion, though? So let's replay the hand if you guys missed it. So we limp here pre-flop, which I think is totally fine. On the flop, I think checking or betting here is going to be fine. I think betting is probably better by default. We decide to check on this occasion. I think that's also going to be okay. If we are going to check a flop with a hand this strong and we do see somebody leading like this, they will have just hearts. They will have just a 5. They will have 8-9. There's a lot of combinations that need to lead like this. Otherwise, you're not leading enough. You're not bluffing enough. And if we do choose to play our hand passively, we need to call, which we did correctly. On this river, we're blocking 10-9, which is a combination that might have led, which is now a straight. And then the question mark that I have here is, how often are we actually supposed to be inducing 1.5 big blinds here? So when your opponent checks back on this flop, I think they end up having a 6 or a 7 quite often. I think they end up having some weaker Queen X. I think that we end up having, 6-5, which is a pair and a straight draw on the turn, for example. 10-9 is probably a combination that we do end up betting this flop with more often. In fact, probably all the time. So the fact we have a blocker is less to do with the fact that we're trying to believably, believably represent 10-9, and more to do with the fact our opponent will just have fewer value combinations that they're trying to get value from. The problem that I have is that if we do end up having a 6 or a 7 or some combination of 8 that is now a pair on the river or a weak queen, and we see this small bet, we're just going to call so often. We're just going to call so often here. That means that I think we're probably not getting enough value from our 5x. Now, if we can induce our opponent into bluffing here more often, then obviously the move is going to be very good because we have sort of implied value from the times that our opponent is going to turn their hand into a bluff. The problem that I have is when we check back on this flop, I think we end up with a lot of hands that want to just get to showdown more often, so the 1.5 kind of sucks. We end up with a specific combination that I think is good to do this with because of the 10-9 properties, but what I'm trying to learn from this spot is, do good players legitimately use a blocker bet here to induce a bluff? And I think the answer is probably not as often as you might imagine. Like, imagine all of the other things that we imagine tons of the hands that we check back on this flop get to showdown and just call 1.5, so you end up not making that much money from your straight. So with that in mind, I actually think that the bluff probably outperforms because most people are not using this size when they do end up having a straight. There are lots of situations where I think using a small size is going to be appropriate to not only get crying calls but also to also induce bluffs. But I just don't see that this setup is particularly good for a block bet. And for that reason, I think that the bluff probably ends up being very successful more often than not. The fact that we've seen him using this pattern, we're going to know for future, obviously, but just as a concept, I think there's something to think about here. That's probably the important thing to note here is on a check flop, he's gonna take this line because there's plenty of spots where this line is not necessarily unusual, but in this setup it probably is. Hello, Hokage in the chat. Nick from the Wall Street. Hello, back in business. What's up? Good to see you. Briar says, were they block betting or betting for value? I mean, a block bet can be both, Briar. It's really, really important that you kind of know that as well, right? Like, the times that I think that are most appropriate to actually apply a block bet are situations where you can get weak hands to call for value, but you're also controlling the action, or you're getting information from your opponent's actions. And for the most part, the two go hand in hand, right? Because if we end up block betting every time we're just not sure where we are in a hand, we end up very exploitable because people know that when we raise, you're going to fold too much. If we end up block betting in a way where we have a fair amount of strength that actually wants calling, it means that we end up having some hands that want to call a jam as well, or we can kind of work out needs to be called after the fact. But a block bet can be a value bet, and a block bet can also be with the intention of inducing. And I think in this case, obviously, it was more to induce, but I do think this hand is probably fine, and I think against most players, the shove is actually going to be successful based on like, the application of the blocker bet there. They had a straight, Nettie. They had 10-5. I'm going to try and trap eights here. Trapping. Please bluff. Please bluff. Please bluff. Please bluff. Please bluff. Not a dime. Not a dime. He has Jack 5 offsuit. Just trying to get freaky with it. All right, next game, please. It is an interesting spot, though, for sure. By my estimations, though, I don't think that that's the size we want to use when we have the straight. There are so many other combos that I have there that I think just want to call to 1.5, which is not what you want when you river a straight, right? Wow. It's a fun one. Ace Jack into Ace Queen, Ace King, and nines. Not ideal. Do get lucky there anyway. Pretty deep stacked here in the hundo. Thank you, Lawler. The exact same move that we made with the gut shot to the straight in that previous game. Blinds are up. Back into this sort of 18 big blind realm. Next Sunday is Mom's Day. Is that the English one or the? Must be the English one. You're in the UK, aren't you, Nettie? How could I forget? I came to rake it in. All right, we're raking it in at the moment. We're actually going to limp the ace-8. If he shoves, we're going to call. If he raises, we're going to ship. I think we're good to bet top pair, top kicker. DNMC says, hands up if you're going for a cheeky cash game of 1-2 at the Hippodrome tomorrow. Dean! I wish I could put my hand up. That sounds like a lot of fun. I love that card room. Really, really nice spot to play cards. Shout out to Carrie, Jane, and the whole team. Lovely, lovely people there. Games can be very good as well. Yeah, if it was a different day, Dean, I would have offered to come up and join you, buddy. I should probably take this weekend and just chill though and get some rest. So far, we've won a lot of these pots. Got our opponent down to around 12 big blinds. I wouldn't mind $100. I would be willing to accept. We call a jam here if we need to. We're going to start betting here. Getting check raise, not going to buy that. Pick up a club draw. The 2 is actually not a great card for us, though, because a lot of his bluffs on the check raise will include a 4, but for the 2 we have to call. 9 cards twice, 18. We have almost exactly the right pot odds to call for our clubs here. There is a question as to whether or not we want to do this now. Yeah, I think we're going to go for it, guys. We might be getting trapped again, but wish me luck. I was going to say, that's fair. Good trap. As I said on the turn, even though we do pick up equity, that does complete some of the 1-card straight draw situations. It is fair. It's a great trap. Well played. Easy game. Definitely one of the good regs here. There are probably a fair number of other hands that we do okay against here, though. Yeah, totally owned. Totally owned there. Totally, completely owned. Just thinking about it now, guys. Nah, it's just no good. It's just no good, really. Can't really justify that one. I think it's... I'm not saying we never win if we shove, obviously. I'm just saying that, like, this is a reg. I kind of understand the kind of range he's supposed to be check raising there, and I think it just so often contains a turn straight. The call on the turn is mandatory, don't get me wrong. The call on the turn is absolutely mandatory with the king of clubs, because we're probably drawing to a king or a jack some of the time. That's going to be good. And we also, of course, are going to be up against spades. We're also going to be up against just the straight club draw is going to be pretty good anyway. It's close to the correct pot odds regardless. Not good game. Not a good game for us there. The check raise on that flop is going to be some like bear 5x. It will just be like jack 5 and stuff like that, and king 5 and stuff like that. I don't know. Okay, so let's look at the spot again, because there is a lot to consider here, but it is quite sort of like reg specific. Okay, so pre-flop here, the limp is fine, the check is fine. I think betting this flop is okay. I think checking this flop is also cool. I kind of had a specific idea in my mind about how I was going to proceed here, and it was tied in with the fact that we have the king of clubs. That was part of the decision-making to bet this flop. In the event that we have another high card show up, that's a club, that's going to be a kind of a go card for us. King or a jack is going to give us the best hand a lot of the time. When we get check raised on this board, our opponent will literally have flop straights, but they will also have hands like 6-4. They will also have hands like 5-4. Like I said, any decent 5 is probably a reasonable check raise on this texture given the pre-flop action and the pre-flop stack depth. So once we get check raised here, absolutely never folding. Like this is totally fine. This was all part of our plan. As I said, the deuce of clubs, as I said, in play, the deuce of clubs does give us additional equity, but also does complete some of this 4x stuff. So when he bets 2, the total pot will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're calling 2 to win 10, which means we need 20% equity to call. With 1 card to come in 9 outs, we have 18%. So that's obviously already very, very nearly the exactly the correct pot odds, not including any additional equity that we win on later streets. So once we arrive here and we missed our clubs, I mean, the only way to win is really to bluff. King high at this point, there's lots of situations in heads up short stack poker where king high has showdown. We don't necessarily want to turn it into a bluff. The problem is that I think our opponent will end up having a fair amount of 5x. They will have a fair amount of 3x as well. So really, if we want to get some of these, like, sort of, he could have some deuce X as well. Sometimes he'll check raise with, like, deuce. I don't know, even a hand like deuce 6 or something like that, I guess. I'm not sure how often that's supposed to happen, though. So basically, all in all, this is a catastrophic failure, really. I think what we need to do is play our hand exactly the same way. Obviously, with the potential to just check flop as well, that would be okay. But on the river here, I think we need to be brave and just find the check back and just have the give up, because it's just too bait, basically. Really annoying spot there anyway in general. If he sizes the turn differently, we can probably just straight fold the flop, fold the turn as well, but it's just too good. But it's only too good if we don't end up going broke with king high on the river. It's all fine and good at making calls with draws because you have the right odds, but if you end up making a mistake on a later street, then you're not. It's way worse, right? We can't say, oh, we've got a good price to see the river, let's just see it, and then when we miss, end up making a mistake, you know? It's a very good trap, though, so applause to our friend. Plays his hand very well. Very, very well played, sir. I'm calling the turn here because I think that we obviously have a nice draw, but I think we'll also have the best hand quite often here. I kind of like think it's like not crazy for a random to end up having an ace here, but I do think that he's probably bluffing a fair amount too. You know what I mean? Come on, King Queen. Yeah, this is mistakes. Mistakes from Justin. I wrote it on the page and I let it burn. I think we can just bet the turn here. Betting the flop is probably not a massive mistake, but if we get check shoved on by like spades, cool, we might have saved ourselves some chips there. Like if we're gonna sneak in these ultra wide limps at these shallow stack depths, we can't be out here fucking up the exposing more dead money than we need to. It's kind of like the king of clubs spot. We can be out here making moves. We can be out here making moves and trying to get lucky, but if we fail to get lucky, we don't want to compound the expense by we don't want to compound the expense by making mistakes after the fact. King high hero call was nice though. Nice answer. At that point, I feel like we probably do get enough folds to bet, but it would appear our opponent just had the nut flush. That's what it would appear like. Is it too much to ask to get 100x on stream? I know, Tom, I know. Not feeling super motivated right now, chat. Still don't think I'm up to 100% strength here. Can't miss. Can't miss. Okay. Let's try that again. Tom says, I know you had like a 6K spin back in the day, but ever had 100x on stream or off stream? You never got that multiplier. So if I remember correctly, that 6K was 100x. I'm pretty sure I was playing $60 spin and goes at the time. Which was a thing for a little while, I believe. I'm sure I've had 100x's off stream. I mean, I would have told you guys about it if it was during one of the challenges, obviously, and I would have had it noted in the results as well. Oh, that was a mistake. What the fuck? I just folded for 2 boots. Okay, wow. Brain is not on. I was thinking about multipliers. Sorry, chat. I'm not my best self this week, I'm afraid. It kind of annoying me as well because I really feel like this year leading up to just before Paris when I got sick, and then I went to Paris and I got sick again, I really felt like we were in a better place mentally. Focus and energy and health and gym and everything was like going very well, and I just feel very set back by these last situations. The tramp of the century. Hello, Smeeble. Good to see you, buddy. Howdy. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm not trying to sound like I'm getting too like down on myself about it, because it wasn't really in my control as to whether or not I was getting sick, but I do feel like I was in a better headspace in the spin streams earlier this year until right before Paris. Probably just need to get some sleep. I think last night was probably like one of the first nights I just laid down and slept all the way straight through the night without waking up, coughing or whatever. Pocket sevens. If my guy turns up with a queen here, he is about to win a pot. I'm value betting because he's going to call me with a 5 or a deuce or a tray. Got him. He calls with 6-5 offsuit. Sicky Walsh. That's what they used to call me at the casino, Sick Nick. It wasn't because I was sick, though. Not that kind of sick, anyway. Ace, Queen of Diamonds. Here we go. Smeeble says our house is getting through stomach virus / chest cold stuff because of Maverick. The joys of a child in kindergarten. Lovely. And, of course, he has Ace-King. Why not? This is noteworthy, though. The pattern we see here is a really important note down. This is ridiculously important because it will be a massive tell in other situations. This guy 3-bets like half of his stack. 3 bets. 2/3 stack pre was Ace-King. It's Ace-King suited as well. Ace-King off. Yes, this pattern is definitely something you want to look out for. And now he's got aces, because of course he does. When you feel sick, it just feels the way. When you feel sick, it just feels that way. But once you feel better, your mindset will be different, Nick. It's hard to see a light when you feel poor. It's true. I feel so poor. I know that's true as well, buddy. But, like, I'm going to go back to the gym, and I'm going to have to figure out all the – go back to the gym and figure out where I left off. And it's just like I was in a good situation there. It's annoying. I need to get better. I need a haircut. And $1 million. Oh, yeah. That's okay. Can we catch him bluffing again? Is he going to rip this one? Nick is too tall to be a dealer. That's not true. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? I didn't know you could open fold. I thought they removed that feature. The guy just open folded. Not open folded. He folded out of turn? Did you guys see that? I'm going to keep doing it. All right, fine. All right, then. We'll wait. We'll wait. Ah. You got to see a flop here. Oh, my God. Shoving every other hand. Ace, king, and a king, jack. Sure. Cool hand of poker. Cool hand. Cool hand of poker there. Dominated again. Okay, cool. So the guy's all in every hand. We finally wake up with a hand. He has ace king. He's dominating king jack. Gets short stacked. We're all in. We have queen nine of diamonds. It's an absolute dream. He's got ace queen dominating us. Whatever, bruv. Okay, I think this is the last game of the day, guys. I'm not in. We had a conversation earlier about knowing when to end a session. I am not in the right headspace for this at all. Not in the slightest right now, guys. Sorry about that. It's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's me. It's not you, it's me, Chad. I'm sorry, but I'm not in the mood to play cards right now, and this sickness is kicking my ass emotionally right now, which is not good. I don't want to feel emotional while I play poker. I want to feel like a killer. I don't want to feel like a baby, and I feel like a baby right now, and I just need Somebody to take care of me. I need somebody to make me some soup, tuck me in, and then cold compress on my head. Yeah, I'm a bit confused about what happened there. It looked like he just folded at any time. Yeah, I think being tall was helpful for being a dealer, but it was also not so helpful because you kind of got a bad back after a certain amount of time. But you could reach better. Right. Yeah, that's all for today, guys. I'm sorry that today's stream was meant to be short and ended up being even shorter, but no poker right now. My poker brain is not activated right now, and I'm afraid that I want to be stronger than that. I want to step away for a moment. I'm going to take the weekend, guys. I'm going to try and get some work done, but otherwise I'm hopefully just going to try and recover a bit more, and I hope to return to you guys on Monday with more poker content of a higher standard. Poker has got to be a lot better than this. More energy. My throat is going to be fine. I'm not going to sound like this, and everything's going to be 100 times better. I love you all very much, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. It is a pleasure, and see what I'm talking about? It is a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to work alongside such wonderful hobbits such as yourselves, and I look forward to getting better, guys. I'm just not in a good place right now. I'm sorry. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, though. Wish me a little bit more luck with my recovery, and I'll be back to my full strength very soon. Okay, guys? I appreciate you. I love you all very much. I'm sorry today wasn't as good as it should have been. And I'll see you guys. See you guys soon. See you guys on Monday. I love you.